A goofy person. I think a lot of people don't really know her outside of basketball. Outside of basketball, she's funny. Like, she has so much personality. I think that's what people need to know about her. Like, her personality goes a long way, and she's a great person. And I think that goes, like, she helps me through every little thing. Like, I could ask a question.
Sports stories that begin in the worst possible places, like online ridicule, public humiliation. A moment so painful that the person going through it genuinely considers giving up everything. All of their lives have been built. Then there are stories that depict that exact moment to create one of the most beautiful things you have seen in a long time, turn it entirely upside down. We will talk about both of those stories at once because Raven Johnson has experienced both of them. Furthermore, the woman in charge of that story's second section is the same one who, inadvertently, was at the midway through the first half. That woman is Caitlin Clark.
Bro, the Fever really selected Raven Johnson as the number 10 pick to come play with Clark. Do y'all remember this? Clark waving her off in college, and then she recently was talking in an interview about it again, about how she got waved off, and now they gonna be playing together.
To understand the progression of this story, you must understand its beginning. The year is 2023, the Women's NCAA. Basketball Final Four. Iowa versus South Carolina. The most talked about college athlete already is Caitlin Clark. Basketball, the leading scorer, the highlight reel, and the most talked about name. Additionally, there was a brief instance during that game that following the widespread use of cameras and the internet, Clark made a choice that was merely tactical. Johnson was free at the three-point line. Clark saw that Johnson was running her offense, not a serious danger, and chose not to defend her. IT was merely a basketball choice. On the internet, though, it wasn't seen as a basketball decision.
No, we haven't. I think that's in the past. We're teammates now, and we have one goal. That's to win a championship. And I'm coming in. I want to win the championship too, and I'm pretty sure that's her main goal too. So whatever I can do to help win a championship, that's the goal, right?
Johnson was submerged. The comments, mockery, and backlash that followed that incident on the internet. Who had nothing better to do than ruin a young woman who had done nothing wrong was relentless. Johnson had all the responsibilities that come with being a young Black person at the age of 20. Since then, a famous woman has openly talked about how dark that period really got. She considered quitting basketball entirely, not stopping, not skipping a season, moving, the game to which she had devoted her whole life to, giving it up because of the cruelty of strangers responding to a fleeting moment. Less than 5 seconds, that's what happened, and it's important to sit with that before moving forward.
Even I hate the internet now because of that situation. Like, I got bashed, I got bullied, I got called all these things that I wasn't, aka like a monkey or this I don't know, like it was just things like that. And I just think I wanted to quit basketball at that time, and I wanted to just go in this little bubble of isolation and just be by myself. And I think, I leaned on God. I've had some wonderful teammates, wonderful people in my life, like I said, and they helped me find that light, and they put so much fuel to the fire for me to go back the next year, and we were undefeated and met that team again, and we beat them. So I think it was all that.
But people are only now beginning to fully understand this part of the story. Raven Johnson did not leave. She stayed. After returning to the court to work with Coach Dawn Staley, she made the decision to use that moment as inspiration instead of a reason to depart. In 2024, South Carolina won the national championship. Defeating Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes and advancing to the Final Four, Johnson was essential to that run, and when she crossed the finish line, she performed on the biggest stage in college basketball after overcoming the lowest point of her career. That's known as resilience. Its full name is actually much longer, something that takes years to build and is impossible to replicate.
Indiana Fever beat New York 109-91. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is people putting respect on Raven Johnson's name. First game, WNBA debut, 6 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, no turnovers, you guys. None. I've been talking about Raven Johnson being underrated for far too long. Cut to the clip.
Those of us that have been following the Gamecocks for longer than a couple of years know Raven Johnson is literally her. It is unfortunate that sometimes she does not get the respect that she deserves.
I don't know what you guys thought was about to happen, but this is Raven Johnson, 18 minutes off the bench. first preseason WNBA game. She just got done playing college basketball, you guys. It's only April.
After graduating from college as a two-time national champion, analysts described her as one of the most NBA-ready players. For the whole 2026 draft class on April 14th, 2026, the Indiana Fever selected Raven Johnson with a 10th overall pick. Choice in the NBA draft. In case you were unaware of the significance of that occasion, the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark's team selected the woman she had once waved off on the biggest stage in college, basketball. The same group, the same locker room, the same jersey. If you had written this for a movie, someone would have told you. Was too obvious.
Indiana selects Raven Johnson, South Carolina. Raven Johnson, South Carolina. Oh, that's it!
Now, the obvious question that every reporter covering the story immediately posed was simple. How does it actually feel? In the true sense, not in the way of a press conference response. What is Raven Johnson's opinion of it? To walk into the same building every single day as Caitlin Clark. How does it feel to share a practice, court, a gathering, a plan, and someone who inadvertently played a central role in one of the most excruciating moments of your life? Johnson answered that question directly. She didn't dance around it or pretend that it was simple. She said she had put the past behind her. As soon as she put on an Indiana Fever jersey, she said. Clark's sole focus from the first day of training was to win a championship. Camp was saying exactly the same thing.
Great person. And I think that goes, like, she helps me through every little thing. Like, I could ask a question and she has an answer for it. So I think that's, like, just playing with somebody like her, it means a lot to me. But she also has that sense of humor where she makes me laugh too. And I'm like, Caitlin, where did that come from? So it's like little things like that. But I'm also funny too. So I think that's where we kind of match together and we vibe with each other like that. So I love being with her.
But since that initial press conference, Johnson's comments have gone far beyond a diplomatic response about putting aside a rivalry. Regarding Caitlin Clark's everyday actions as a teammate, she has been forthright and truthful. Foundation, not as a superstar, not as an icon, not as the most financially important player in women's sports, basketball right now, but as a person who is truly present and involved. People who live close to her. Johnson revealed that Clark helped her get through all of the difficult moments as she entered the workforce, guiding her through the pace, tactical shifts, mental adjustments, and variations that each transition of a rookie from college to the WNBA. Johnson stated that he questioned Clark regarding 1,000 questions in one training session. Every single one, Clark answered. It's important to think about that particular detail because Caitlin Clark is not obligated to do so. She is the franchise player, the face of the Fever. The woman whose name can be found on jerseys that are selling out quickly and whose sneakers NBA players are sporting at the peak of professional basketball. She has every right in the world to focus her time and energy on being safe. Rather, she is sitting next to a rookie who used to stand across from her during a rivalry game and responding to question after question. Following a question about how to survive and thrive there, a league that is irritated by rookies who lack preparation. That's not what a superstar does. That is the role of a leader. This also has a personality component, given that Raven Johnson has additionally gone public about Caitlin Clark's real identity behind the basketball, and what she disclosed is something that a lot of people are just followers. Based on box scores and highlights, Clark is genuinely uncertain. Johnson described Clark as loving. She called her foolish. Clark's humor, she said, surprises those who have. All I've ever done is watch her compete. According to her, Clark has a lot of personality, the kind that fills a room in a way unrelated to basketball, and asserted that most people don't know about it. That's how she appeared. In the locker room, the one cracking jokes at the person who pulls silly faces in group photos. The one who makes newcomers laugh by chasing them around the gym. The Indiana Fever's social life. We were able to see exactly that when several images of Clark and Johnson were made public by the media. During training camp, Clark appeared to flee. Another photo of Johnson playfully chasing away from him, embracing Clark while he pulled a goofy, exaggerated face. This wasn't put on for a business campaign. After meeting on the other side of a complicated past, these two people decided to make something genuinely cozy with IT. That IT is impossible to duplicate that kind of chemistry. Either it exists or it doesn't. Furthermore, those pictures illustrated what Raven Johnson has been saying in all of his later interviews. It's true. Now, let's talk about how this actually affects Raven Johnson's career, because aside from the friendship, beyond the character, the goofy moments, the dynamic in the locker room, and the 1,000 questions, the useful effects of collaborating with Caitlin Clark and having her actively assist your development is something that cannot be overstated. When Johnson joined this league, the Fever were not just one more team-building activity toward respectability. They are a team with a genuine chance of winning a championship. A carefully assembled team with a core that is expected to compete at the highest level. There isn't much opportunity for mistakes. The standards, professionalism, and preparation that Clark instills in the building, refusing to accept anything less than the best possible version of every practice session is the environment that Johnson currently works in every day.
Yeah, see, if somebody I support was hanging with somebody that I hated the most, even though she's the reason why any of us are watching the WNBA like we're watching it. Yeah, Caitlin the reason for all this. Yeah, all you Caitlin haters, I know y'all mad. Yeah, see, y'all be getting mad when I say Caitlin the GOAT, but Raven just said it. So are all you South Carolina Gamecock fans, all you big Raven Johnson fans, are y'all gonna be mad at her too? Yeah, do you see how nice and lovely and how good the connection between Raven and Caitlin and Raven and Sophie is? I know y'all hate that. And it's fine. Cause y'all be trying to gas like, oh, Raven's gonna come and take over the team. No, it don't work over here, no.
Johnson made her WNBA preseason debut against the New York Liberty, playing 17 minutes and recording 8 assists, 2 blocks, and 3 made shots for the first time a rookie plays professional basketball against one of the best teams in the league is off to a very promising start, and when she stepped in to assist, Clark scored 21 points in 16 minutes of action prior to playing the Dallas Wings. Johnson took the main ball. Johnson controlled the remainder of the game after responding with 3 points and 5 assists in 21 minutes. She did not shrink under the pressure. She did not disappear when the moment became important. She gave the impression that the environment, the coaches, and a teammate who had been investing money in her since camp's first day